Welcome to the Shoecast show where we interview and talk everything related to shoes. My name is Chase and I'm here with my co-host today, Landon, as always. And today we are talking to Enrique, or better known as @CustomKicksNL on Instagram. He's a sneaker customizer with over 80,000 followers on YouTube and over 10,000 followers on Instagram. How's it going, Enrique?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you guys?
Doing good, man. Thanks for coming on and taking some time for us. So before we dive into the interview, just go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Enrique. I'm 21 years old and I study communication and multimedia design. And I started my hobby customizing sneakers, and it ended up being my main business. So I had to quit all of my side jobs to fulfill all my orders that I got.
It's always a good problem to have.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So could you go a little bit more in depth and explain to our listeners and viewers what you do?
So I customize sneakers. I paint them. I use different vinyls, reflective vinyls. So basically I fulfill orders for people that want to get their sneakers a unique touch, I guess. Many people tend to want to have like a unique thing on their clothing, on their shoes, and I fulfill that. That's basically it.
That's awesome, man. I know. I mean, I'm big into shoes, and I see just some various people promoting their customization of shoes, and some of the things I see. So I'm very unartistic. I don't know if that's the correct way to say it, but so I see these things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like just. And I've seen some of your stuff, and I'm just like, man, like that takes talent.
Oh, yeah,
I could
definitely.
never. I'm like, I can see why you would be in such good business, because I could never do it. I would have to pay someone else to do it for me.
Thank you.
But you mentioned you're only go ahead.
Yeah, I do have to say that my painting skills are not that great, because I normally use vinyl stickers and my airbrush. So I get everything cut out with a stencil cutter and put it on there and airbrush it. That's my kind of my I don't know how to say that, my benchmark or something.
There you go.
I think that's really the most fun thing to use,
right.
Because if you ask me to paint the face on shoes, I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
Because,
stick
I'm
figures.
not able to do that.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So you actually mentioned you're only 21 years old. So how long have you been customizing shoes? Kind of when did that begin for you?
I think my first custom was about 3 years ago, something like that, maybe 4. Those were the old shoes of my brother, the Nike Air Force, the high ones, and they were yellowing from the sun because the rubber sole turns yellow when you don't wear them, and
right.
Things like that. So I cleaned them up and I made a ape design with the camouflage and the ape on it, and it was pretty cool. And my brother said, "Wow, that's actually pretty amazing." So I ended up putting an Instagram account online and threw some pictures of it on there.
Right.
And then I got my first customer. His name is Steven, and he works at the Nike headquarters here in, I believe, in Amsterdam, or I don't know, at Hilversum, sorry. And it was such a great guy, and he really believed in me while I had maybe 200 followers or something.
Wow.
So he really helped me to believe in myself, because he just threw some shoes at me, and I did my thing. It didn't all work out super good, but there's always room for errors, so you always learn from that. So.
Well, that's crazy that your first customer was a Nike employee. Wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
Man.
That's cool.
He was he's such a nice guy, and I thank him always in my mind when I'm working on shoes,
Yeah,
because he really gave me the push to get big, or I don't know how to say that. Right?
Yeah, awesome.
Really nice. Yeah.
So Enrique, are you a sneakerhead yourself?
I'm not trying to get anybody mad now, but I'm not that big in sneaker in the big sneaker.
Wow.
You know, I do have some Yeezys, some triple whites, I think, and but yeah, it is because because I live in the Netherlands, the shoe game isn't that big. Like all the Jordan things and so, it's not that big here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
That's the major difference between America and the Netherlands. Shoe game is really small here. Yeah.
That's crazy. So could you explain, some of the thought process behind your shoes and also like how someone could get their shoes customized by you? You touched on it a little bit, but for the people listening and whenever they go check out your page, which will probably inevitably happen, what is your thought process? Is it more you take their request, and then how do they also get in touch to get their shoes designed by you?
So when you go to my Instagram account, you can click on my web shop, and there are all different designs that you can order, and it's just the payment website. So I'll get the order in and I make the shoes. And if you think that you really like to have like a really unique touch to them, or you have your own design, you can always DM me on Instagram, and that way I can see what is what I can do for you, because I always not always, but I do get requests that are out of my league, and I don't even try things like because I know I will probably mess it up.
Yeah, that's
I'm comfortable in my own box. I know what I can do. So.
And I'm sure with that goes along with there's certain things that you can't do, but there's other things that you can probably do really well. So there's no reason to go outside of that lane if you don't have to.
Yeah.
It's definitely
because
tough.
A few days ago I had my letter coming in, and I had a sewers. It's a sewing machine. A Singer is it called? It's an antique thing. It's really heavy also. So I'm now getting into sewing leather on the shoes themselves. So that's a pretty new thing for me.
Oh,
and I
that's
hope
exciting.
It's going to get my business bigger.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope. I could already see like some cool designs you could do. Speaking of designs, I really want to break down, because I always scroll through the Instagram page before and start writing the script. I really want to break down your popular, your glitch kind of swoosh design. Like, how did that design come about?
Well, I basically copy it from another designer, to be honest. But the funny part is, it's from Just Win Customs, I think, and it came out on the Angelus YouTube channel, and I watched it like the first day or something. With Angelus is not that really big, so I just copied it. And I gave a little touch from myself, and I filmed it. That was also my first video on YouTube, and it ended up having over 2 million views.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That was crazy. And
cool.
I remember the day that it had like 2,000 views, and I was like, oh my god. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Oh yeah, he showed me that. He showed me the design, and I was like, man. I love little plays off stuff like that, like just different things that you can do with the Nike swoosh. Like there's been a lot of like Sakai models where they kind of double up the Nike swoosh now, and like just different things that you can do with Nike. Like the ideas are really endless.
Yeah, I really like the design that you give it a glitch effect or a 3D effect.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh yeah.
I always because there are a lot of designs on my computer that nobody knows about. So I'm getting this $signy thing in the glitch effect, but I have to find a customer first for that. So
right.
Hey, there you go.
So keeping it on the topic of your customers, what is, or have you experienced any? But what are some of your biggest like pet peeves when dealing with clients, or just like with painting sneakers in general? What are some of the things that can tend to be kind of bothersome?
Things that bother me, or?
Yeah, just things that bother you if you have someone trying to like some type of customer or something like that, or even just with the tedious details of, customizing your own sneakers,
right? Like taping or
different things like that.
I think the really small details, I'm not a fan of small details because I don't have a steady hand like a pro or artist or something. So I always need to do it like really slow, not to screw it up.
Mm-hmm. Actually,
that's
a follow-up question is: how long does it usually take for one of your typical designs?
Like the glitch effect, it's very easy with the stencil. It's pretty fast. I take off the swoosh, put the stencil on, spray it black, but then I have to outline them with the pink and the blue. Mm-hmm. That takes pretty long, but I think an average of 2.5 hours, I guess.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
But yeah, it's not that bad. But if you have like 5 orders of the same shoe, then it gets maybe to an hour because you can do it in a big bulk. You know?
Oh, okay.
Exactly. Yeah, because we've interviewed a bunch of different people that mess with shoes, whether it be like people that do restorations and stuff, and sometimes they're like, it takes them a full day or a full week to just restore one shoe or to even customize one shoe. So I'm always curious, just with the amount of time it takes for certain shoes and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's the more you do it, you get fast in it, and things that are not going well or that are hard. So the more you do it, the faster you are able to finish the shoes. Right. That's basically it.
So as a follow-up question, what was one of the challenges with starting shoe customizing?
To gain people's trust.
Oh, that's unique. We haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah, it was pretty hard because I had that guy Steven from Nike, and he really believed in me. So I had this Instagram page setting up, but I really had to go out and ask people to maybe buy a custom from me, and that was pretty hard because I always got the question like, oh, are you legit? Are you not screwing me up or something? That was pretty hard for me. But when I think about the 8,000 followers, they always tend to believe you, like, oh, you're legit. And having my website in my bio, that really helps a lot, because if they see a website where you can really shop at, they always believe you.
Right, and that's one of the challenges with any business starting off. We do some shoe selling and stuff like that, and if you're selling a shoe at the same price as someone else, but you've sold 1,000 shoes and they've sold 7, they're probably going to buy from you and not from that smaller sale. It's kind of tough to build up that reputation to where people are going to be like, okay, this person's got 100% good feedback. Obviously, I'm going to buy from them with all these sales and stuff like that. So beginning is always tough.
Yeah, it's always tough.
But so back to the customizing, what are some of the supplies that you use specifically for your shoes?
I always use Angelus. That's my main brand. I don't use anything else. So I have the prep and the glazer. So you take the fabric finish of the shoes, because they do not get the paint into the pores of the leather. So you first take the fabric layer off, and then you can start painting. And when you have all the paint on it, you use a acrylic finisher. I always use the matte one because I love the matte finish. Because sometimes, I don't know if you guys have seen customs with the shiny acrylic finisher. In my opinion, it doesn't look really good because it's so glossy, and and that's all the things I use.
Most of the customizers that we have interviewed all use Angelus, so it seems like to go to for anyone that's starting out. Speaking of that, do you have any advice for those that are just starting off customizing?
Just grab some old pair of shoes and just try it, because I get that question a lot. For like people, they really want to try it, but they don't get to it. You know?
Yeah.
They I don't know how to say it. But they get scared that they will mess up the shoe.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just have an old pair, just do it. Like, it doesn't matter if it turns out bad. Then you can throw them away, and then when you get comfortable, you can buy some new shoes and maybe start customizing them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's all up to you, all up to yourself.
And I think that's good advice in itself, right there. Saying, start with shoes that you already have, and don't go buy a $180 pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Try and customize them and go south, and all of a sudden you're like, oh no. Like, I think it's a good idea to start with something that maybe isn't as important to you, that you can mess around with, and you can afford to mess up on it, essentially.
Exactly.
Definitely. But
then there's this major difference between America and Europe, because I believe the Nike Air Force from 2007, they cost around $80 in America, right?
Yeah, like I think it's 80 to 90 somewhere around. Yeah, like not a super expensive shoe for sure.
Yeah. And here in Europe, they cost 100 euros. That's like $110 to $115.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
That kind of really sucks, because I had a lot of customers from America too, so I know that they pay a lot, because there's also shipping, like $30 to get them overseas, and then I always think, like, sometimes I just want to move to America, because the customizing game there is always so much bigger.
Huge.
So you've thought, I'm sorry, but you've thought about moving to America?
Yeah, just like a little fantasy.
Oh, okay.
Not doing it actually.
Yeah.
And you were mentioning Air Forces, because that's honestly, just come to think of it, I've never seen a customization on anything but an Air Force. Is that what you say? You pretty much mainly only customize Air Forces, or do people throw some different ones at you?
They threw some Air Max 1s.
Okay.
And the Jordan ones, also the white ones. Yeah, it basically has to have leather on them, and then I can paint, because it's leather paint.
Mm-hmm. Right, that makes sense.
But I mainly do Air Forces. That's like the best canvas for me.
Yeah, definitely. I think you're not alone in that, because just come to think of it, I've pretty much only seen Air Forces with customization, and not really like anything too much else from that.
Yeah.
But so where do you see yourself or your business within the next 5 years? What kind of direction are you kind of hoping to go towards?
Oh, that's a really hard question, because I'm now in my last year of my study.
Okay.
So it's going to get really busy, and I have this other startup from doing socials for companies like Facebook and Instagram, etc. So I'm really busy at the moment, but I think I'm going to continue doing this for at least a couple of years. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, might as well. I mean, if you have time and you enjoy it, I don't see why not. So that's good. That's awesome that you're going to continue that. But when you're not customizing shoes, what are some other hobbies that you like to do?
Gaming.
Yeah, you a big gamer?
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not that big, but I like to play some COD,
Oh, yeah. All right. So more like shooting games and stuff like that, then.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. This is one of my favorite questions to ask, but you've already mentioned a little bit that you're not necessarily a sneakerhead. So we'll kind of modify this question. What is your favorite shoe? Like, do you currently own your favorite shoe that you've ever seen? Do you own it, or what would that shoe be, even if you don't own it right now?
It may sound cheesy, but I think the Air Forces, man.
Yeah.
It's
so
just,
much history.
You can't do anything wrong with these, and I own like 3 or 4 pairs that are customized, of course, but I also have just white ones, because I think they're so nice, and I don't really spend a lot of money to sneakers,
right?
Because there are tons of sneakers because I sometimes do restorations too, and then I get the Louboutins, like 750 euros, and I think that's crazy, man. I wouldn't pay that for shoes.
No, and I think you're right with the Air Force Ones, is because I personally am a huge sneakerhead, and I used to have 150 something pairs of shoes, and I started to kind of downsize my collection and to go for more of the hype stuff instead of having as many. But one thing I couldn't get myself to sell was I have 4 or 5 pairs of Air Force Ones, and I would downsize it to pick my favorite color of each shoe.
Yeah.
But that one I was like, no, I'm keeping these 4 colors of this shoe. I'm not getting rid of them.
Yeah, that's really nice. I always get happy when I open the box and they're super white,
Oh yeah,
never worn. It really makes me happy.
So crisp. You just can't walk too heavy on them, because I hate creasing my Air Forces. That's one thing.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. Me too.
So we're cutting to the few last questions of the podcast. This question in particular is, if you could choose, who should we have on next for our podcast?
Ooh.
And that could be just anyone who's kind of helped you along the way, or anyone that you kind of want to throw out there that you would want to hear from, or anything like that.
Like a shoe customizer? Or
shoe customizer, shoe reseller, and just anything along those lines.
I don't really have that many contacts from helping me or something. Maybe I have this this dude who buys the lace tags from me, and he is really good at sewing and the Dior things. So it's really great. I think his name is JW Customs, I guess. I will send his page over to you guys.
Yeah,
sweet.
Definitely. We'll get that from you. But before we start the outro, is there anything that you would personally like to promote for yourself, or anything you want to shout out about your own business?
Come and have some custom sneakers made by me.
Hey, there you go.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. Yeah. Go check his. We'll link to your page and all that.
Yeah, everything will be in the show notes below.
Yeah, definitely. But
you're great, guys.
Yeah, no absolutely. Problem. But that's actually going to wrap it up for this episode. If you like this episode, feel free to show your support by liking, following, and subscribing to whichever platform that you're listening to. Thanks again for tuning in, and we will see you next episode. Peace.